Everything I want to see in the Nintendo Direct. No leaks, no rumors, no confirmation, and if the games don't make sense, I still want them. So buckle your seatbelt and let's get straight into it. Okay, so for starters, ports slash remasters. Alright, so Kirby Triple Deluxe. Now this is a game that I want to see on the Nintendo Switch 2 because it's a fantastic game. But I think seeing it on the Nintendo Switch 2 or even the Nintendo Switch 1 in HD, even 4K if it's a Switch 2 port, would be really awesome because this is honestly one of the greatest DS or even Kirby games of all time. Now the next game that we have to see is Kirby Planet Robot. May this be a double pack for Triple Deluxe or just a standalone game. This would be fantastic to see because the 3DS Kirby games are honestly probably the best, or at least they're my favorite. I might hold some bias against them because these were actually my first Kirby games, but whatever. I would still like to see them on the Nintendo Switch 1 or 2. Now the next game we have to talk about is The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Now this would be great to see on the Nintendo Switch 2. Because honestly, imagine playing The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds on a full HD or even 4K screen. Imagine the capabilities. Now this personally, I think would be really great, and I'm hoping to see The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds during this Nintendo Direct. Now the next game we gotta talk about is staying on track with The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker 4K. Now I've talked a lot about this game, and there's some leaks and rumors about this game coming, but we're not going to be mentioning any of that. Even The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds got one, but we're still not mentioning it. So I think that this game truly would be special to see on Nintendo Switch 2 because it's been left in the shadows for so many years. The HD version of Wind Waker honestly was a perfect version with so many things to do, and it just fixes up and allows you to sail the 7 seas as a motorboat. But honestly, sailing the 7 seas without the motorboat, that's still really fun. Quick sail changes a whole bunch of things. The next game that we need to see is Super Mario 3D Land. Now this would be also really amazing on the Nintendo Switch 2 because I personally think that 3D Land is better than 3D World. Boom, I said it. But hear me out. I think that it definitely is a very special game, and seeing it potentially returning to the Nintendo Switch 2 would be really truly phenomenal. You can finally experience those 3D Mario games in a new light on the Switch 2. And we're not missing too many 3D Mario games to have every single 3D Mario game on the Nintendo Switch 2. And speaking on 3D Mario games, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now this is another game that I would love to see on the Switch 2 because of the fact that it's Mario Galaxy. We have the first game, but might as well bring the second game over. And honestly, I think that this would be truly a phenomenal game to see on the Nintendo Switch 2. Because it's Mario Galaxy. Who doesn't love Mario Galaxy? Being able to explore different space, time, and honestly, every single planet above would be fantastic, and I hope we see it during the Nintendo Direct. Now, the next thing is Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver HD. Now, hear me out. This would be fantastic to see during this Nintendo Direct because Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver definitely are something truly special, and seeing it HD on Nintendo Switch 2 would be really cool. Imagine the capabilities. Now, personally, I think that there's at least a 1% chance of seeing this during this Nintendo Direct, but 1% is better than no percent, am I right? So overall, this would be really fantastic to see, replaying Heart Gold and Soul Silver once again. Now, staying on the topic of Pokemon, we got Pokemon Generation 5. Now, it just so happens that we got a couple things that are pointing towards Pokemon Generation 5. But like I said, no leaks, no rumors, we're staying on track. So, Pokemon Generation 5 definitely would be a special game to make its way to Nintendo Switch 1 and 2. Maybe it would take hold of what Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl tried to be and make it 20 times better. Overall, it's something truly special. Now moving on to Mario Kart. Now, the next Mario Kart game that I want to see on the Nintendo Switch 2 has nothing to do with Mario Kart World. But we're gonna go backwards at least 20 years. Back to Mario Kart Wii. Now Mario Kart Wii HD would be really cool to make its way to Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe for the 40th anniversary of Mario, could we be seeing Mario Kart Wii? Because this truly is a phenomenal game with so many awesome tracks, and the courses, they better leave all of those glitches that you're able to race around the track and jump pretty much half of the track and have a massive lead, because that would just be really, really awesome. And now, Super Mario Bros. Wii. Now, New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a really fantastic game, and if you have played a new Super Mario Bros. Game, this is the one that I would recommend to try. It definitely is something truly special, and I hope we see it during this Nintendo Direct. Now, moving on, we got third-party games. Now, first off, what I want to see is these things right here. They make no sense whatsoever. I'm pretty sure I compiled this list of games that I just like. But overall, we're going to Skylanders. Now, I really do want to see the Skylanders return for this Nintendo Direct. And since it's Nintendo Direct season, hey, Skylanders, could we be seeing this sometime soon? I think so. We're going to finally see the return back to the mid-2000s, the mid-2010s that really were a special time. You can finally get your toys to life back again. And overall, Skylanders seeing a remake, a remaster, and just every single game ported to Nintendo Switch 2 would be something truly special. Give us a portal of power, or maybe you don't even need one because you have the AC chip sort of reader inside the Joy-Con. Overall, that would be really awesome. Now, the next game that I really want to see is good old Slime Rancher 2. Now, we got the first game on the Nintendo Switch, but we haven't really seen the light of day for Slime Rancher 2. What in the world is going on? I think I would love to see Slime Rancher 2 finally be announced for the Nintendo Switch 2. Because imagine the possibilities bringing Slime Rancher 2 wherever you want to go. That right there would be something truly special, and I think there's a possibility of actually seeing it. Now, going more crazy into the deep hole of random games, Crossy Road. Imagine seeing Crossy Road return to the Nintendo, or be first introduced to the Nintendo platform after all this time. That right there would be a really phenomenal game. Crossy Road, being able to bring that anywhere you want. Oh wait, you could already do that. Being able to put that on the full screen and jump away and try not to get hit by a car. That is awesome. Crossy Road, I would love to see it. So come on, Nintendo. We need to see Crossy Road. Even if it's for $2. I would pay $2 for Crossy Road on Nintendo Switch 2. Or Nintendo Switch. Now moving on, we got Forza Horizon. Now this is a game that I really want to see on the Nintendo Switch 2 because the Sony PlayStation has Forza Horizon. The Xbox One is able to run Forza Horizon. Why not the Nintendo Switch 2? Come on, Xbox. We need to see Forza Horizon. This is going to be a phenomenal game because it really holds you at the grasp of Forza Horizon. Being able to drive any cars around and go through cities and stuff. Really awesome. Now moving on, we got Halo, of course, another Xbox exclusive, which really is a phenomenal game. It really has so much to offer because it's Halo. Who doesn't like Halo? Being able to go around, have a great time, overall, it's really a special game. Now moving on, Star Wars Jedi. Now either Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or Star Wars Jedi Survivor, or maybe even a new Star Wars Jedi game. I would love to see it on the Nintendo Switch 2. Because don't you think that Star Wars Jedi is something special? Or am I the only one that thought Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or even Star Wars Jedi Survivor was a very fun game? And being able to take it anywhere you want, don't you think that that would be cool? And then being able to take your dock, slap it back in the dock, and start playing Jedi Survivor? That would be really interesting. Now we can't forget about Baseball Stars. Now this is a game back on the NES, and honestly, I think it's a phenomenal game. If you played it, you know what I'm talking about. This truly is a masterpiece, so hopefully we can see the return of Baseball Stars. I would love to see it, and honestly, Nintendo, you gotta bring it to either Nintendo Switch Online or do a full-blown remake or remaster. Now, one game that I want to mention here is Rock Band. Now, imagine getting a new Rock Band game where you're able to go get yourself a guitar and start hitting the notes just like you used to do back in the day. I think that Rock Band would truly be a phenomenal game. Just imagine the possibilities. Endless. Possibilities are truly endless with Rock Band. Now, one game that I also want to mention is Balloon TD6. Now, the Sony PlayStation once again got Balloon Tower Defense, and so did Xbox. So, are you saying that Nintendo Switch 2 isn't powerful enough to run a mobile balloon popping game? And it would be perfect on the Nintendo Switch 2 because you got the touchscreen and you could touch away at all the balloons and just move them like you're playing on a tablet. And then if you wanted to, put them in the dock and you use a controller for getting your monkeys and all of that stuff. Balloon Tower Defense 6 definitely would be something truly special on Nintendo Switch 2. It has so many updates that you can really just play with pretty much anyone and have so many different monkeys to choose from. Now, there's one thing right here. Dark Souls Collection. So we got the first Dark Souls, and we're also getting Elden Ring. But what about every other Dark Souls on the Nintendo Switch 2? That would be really, really interesting, and honestly, I think that it could be a possibility at this point. There are so many fantastic games. Now, you probably heard this coming. What's the most popular game releasing in 2026? Now that game right there, I want to see on the Nintendo Switch 2. Just an announcement, because imagine the possibilities. GTA 6, of course. We need to see this because you can take it anywhere you want. Even if it's running at 480p and 30 frames per second. Imagine the possibilities. Possibilities truly are endless at this point. Now, after that weird third-party game selection that we chose from, we got brand new games. Now, brand new games, what do you think of? Well, for me, Pushmo 2.0 would be really, really cool to see because honestly, Pushmo was that puzzle-solving fun adventure game. So seeing it in this Nintendo Direct would be really, really creative and really, really awesome because it's Pushmo. Who doesn't like Pushmo? Now moving on to more serious things, we got Super Mario Galaxy 3. I think that that game right there would truly be a special addition to the Nintendo Switch 2. I'd say it's Mario Galaxy 3. And honestly, if I get at least 3 of these things right, or maybe even 1 right, I mean, that's pretty special. You have to subscribe. But overall, Mario Galaxy 3 would be cool. Now Super Mario Odyssey 2, another one that we have to see at some point. Now, this would be really, really fantastic to see because, hey, it's Super Mario Odyssey 2, and this is something that I want to see because, like, Odyssey was definitely something special, and seeing the return would be really cool. And seeing the return as well is new Super Mario open world game. Now, we need to see a new Super Mario open world game because that would be really, really cool. May that be a sort of Bowser's Fury style of game, or may this be a truly open world Mario game where you're going from the Mushroom Kingdom to pretty much anywhere else. Would be a really special thing, and maybe Nintendo's cooking things up for the 40th anniversary of Mario. Now, the next game is Kirby open world game. Now, there's a lot of different possibilities on how they could release Kirby as an open world game. Now, first off, you got your Forgotten Land style of Kirby game. Forgotten Land really did Kirby very, very well. And you can go from planets to different planets to different planets and then pretty much explore all those planets as a mini open world. Or could they do a fully open world like in going to Dreamland and then you go to the next one and you go to the next one and you go to the next one. Overall, that would be something very, very creative and very, very special. We can't forget about the next Legend of Zelda game. Imagine seeing the next Legend of Zelda game inside of this Nintendo Direct. That right there would be something truly special because The Legend of Zelda definitely is something special. And may this be going to the next Hyrule, which is going to be something like Wind Waker mixed with Ocarina of Time, mixed with like an open world Breath of the Wild style of Legend of Zelda game. Where you got the sea, you got the sky, you also got the lands, the field, and something that feels more Zelda-like with all temples, dungeons, and a whole bunch of things. Instead of shrines, we got dungeons and maybe mini little adventure things where you can get your stamina recovery faster or something like that. Would be really interesting. Now, we can't forget about the Super Mario Maker 3D. So imagine making a 3D Mario game from the ground up with your tools. It's a possibility. There's a lot of tools on PC that you're able to make Mario games, which is really, really interesting. So maybe could we be seeing it? Overall, this is already a weird, goofy video, but we're still not done here. We got Switch Online, of course. Now, there's not very many that I would like to see, but I think Switch Online truly is something special. We got, of course, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, this is a game that I would love to see because, hey, it's Super Smash Bros. Melee. Who doesn't like Smash Bros. Melee? It really has, like, all the characters, and it definitely is a very solid Smash Bros. Game. We got Mario Kart Double Dash. That definitely is something special that I would love to see because Mario Kart Double Dash is really a unique game. Being able to race around the track with 2 racers instead of 1 racer is really, really handy at some sections. Also, we got Kirby Air Ride. Now that Kirby Air Riders is coming out soon, that means that, hey, can players finally get the chance to play Kirby Air Ride with the Nintendo Switch Online that they're paying for? Hey, that would be really, really interesting. Now, the final things that we have to cover has got to go to DLCs. Now, DLCs for games such as Mario Kart World would be truly fantastic. Like, maybe we can have an additional 80 courses so it can be on par with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Or could we be seeing more characters, costumes, or even fun game modes? The possibilities are truly endless for this title. But not only that, maybe could we even be seeing finally some DLC for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, we don't really have to see too much DLC, just maybe a master mode, a trial of the sword, and maybe new weapons, just maybe. But overall, something like that would be really, really fantastic. So, overall, what do you think about this very interesting set of announcement? Do you think that I'm gonna get at least 3 of them? Now, the ones that actually are leaked, these are ones that I just wanted, are The Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker 4K. Now, those has been getting some leaks and rumors and information. We also have Super Mario 3D Land, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Those also have leaks suggesting that we will be seeing them. And Forza Horizon for the Xbox sort of games coming to Nintendo Switch 2, and potentially a brand new Mario game. Also, Kirby's Planet Robot has a possibility. And you know what? Might as well throw Triple Deluxe in there because honestly, it never made sense to why they would do Planet Robot and not Triple Deluxe. But overall, very interesting. So those games look like they could actually have a possibility of coming to Nintendo Switch 2. But who knows? Maybe every single game here that I've mentioned that aren't those games have a possibility as well. There's a 1% chance of honestly getting GTA 6 on the Nintendo Switch 2. But that's still better than nothing, am I right? Overall, what do you think about all of these games? Do you think that this is something special? And I made a great job compiling games that are never going to happen. What do you think? Hey, that's pretty cool. So anyways, the 40th anniversary of Mario is happening soon. And if you want to go and check out actual games that are going to be releasing, click right here. And also, there's going to be a mark right here that are games that are realistically for the Nintendo Direct are going to be happening. Click right here. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. And with that being said, see you in the next one.